like crazy. I don't know what is happening. And everybody wants to be able to get rid of 2020. And I understand because we want to be able to see what 2021 looks like. And I'm hoping that it's going to be better than what we have right now. But we just have to see. I know the rate that we go in here in Georgia, we're gonna have to cut back on some things because you see that we're leading the cases in coronavirus right now, and whew, we are we gonna have to really try to scale back or do something. I just don't know. The parents are scared with the kids going to school, all that stuff. But hopefully we'll be able to, you know, um, do something about that. But in the meantime, we only could do what we can control, right? We only can handle what we can handle, and that's ourselves. We can only control ourselves, and we can only do those things that's best for us. And everything on the outside world that we can't control, we really don't have to worry about, right? So my name is Gloria Ward. I'm the founder of the I'm Loving Me Project, the number one platform for women. You are here. You're here enjoying some great content. I would love, 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 love to talk to everyone. And this is an Inspiration in 30 we do throughout the week, just to connect, just to start you in your day. If you are not on our email list, please join our email list. You can just go to imlovingme.net. Go ahead and subscribe to the email because we're having some really, really good stuff that's coming down the pipe. One of the biggest things that we're having is our Elite program is coming out. Now, let me tell you what our Elite program is so that you guys would know. You probably saw it a little bit. But what we're doing is we're recruiting the best coaches that we know in the industry to come and to help you with your mental health and also your business, where you can get access to these coaches every day, 7 days a week, as much as you want, immerse yourself as much as you want in our membership website and connect with so many people each and every day so that you can start to grow. Remember what I told you in the beginning in January, and I still keep that in my book here when I do my vision. We want to be able to build something where you could come. It doesn't matter where you are in your life, and you can take a journey where you can actually build yourself up in however direction you want. If you want to build your career, if you want to build a relationship, if you want to build a business, if you really want to build, up yourself personally, we want a platform for that. And we want to be able to do that in an environment where we don't have to we don't have to separate things, right? Because a lot of people would say, oh, if you want to learn about money, come here. If you want to learn about mental health, come here. If you want to do this, come here. No, we're putting it all in one place where you could just come. It's like $15 a month, right? You just come and you immerse yourself all day long. The only reason why it's not ready yet because we have to get a calendar together, because we're going to be sending you all the events that we will have throughout the week on a calendar, and we have to get the coaches ready to do their thing. So once we get that ready, we have like this big meeting today. Once we are able to decide and get that ready, then we should be ready to go, and you will have that opportunity to do that. Hi, Octavius. You will have that opportunity to do that. And you can learn from the different coaches about money, how to build your business, how to do all of these wonderful things, and take your life to the next level. And I think it's very beneficial because it was something that I needed, right? When I wanted to learn about how to do Excel spreadsheets and how to read my budget and all that stuff, I had to go somewhere and pay a lot of money for that. But if we have a coach that can show you how to do that in our community, then it will be very beneficial to you because it might advance you at your job, right? Or you need to learn QuickBooks or some quick tips on QuickBooks, or, just anything about relationships, how to go ahead and date and not feel awkward or weird or all that stuff. We have all that stuff. You know, I need to take a dating class. I'm telling you, and, I'm going to make this real quick when it comes to this. But, but a sister, I'm not out there actively dating, but I have some interest that I'm looking at. And you know how you just look at people sometimes and you just say, okay, well, I can go ahead and just, like date this person. And then all of a sudden you start to find things wrong with them, like, their feet too big or they eyes are too far apart or their head too big. That's the stage I'm in, right? Like, oh my God, these people could be the nice people. These people could be the nicest people in the world, but I don't know. And I just said, maybe I'm not ready because, every time I find something wrong, and it's, I think I like what I like. You know what I'm saying? I think I like what I like. And if I don't see it, I'm just like, you know. But I mean, there was one guy, very nice guy, y'all. Very nice guy, volunteers, um, um, has makes great money, is an entrepreneur, um, does a lot of stuff. But the only thing is, y'all, he got like the Homer Simpson head. I promise you he do. He got like the Homer Simpson thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like how when you look at the cartoon is more head up here. You know what I'm talking about? It's like more head up there, and then the eyes are like below. So the only thing that will kind of look good is if you wear a hat. But when you wear the hat, like the whole head is on the hat. Like, how a hat you have room, there's no room in there. Okay. So, that's my woes, but that's just me. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? So I just cool out for now. And I'll just be like, you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna chill. But yeah, but today what I wanted to talk about is, are you sleepwalking or are you actually living? Are you sleepwalking or are you actually living? And what I mean by that is, are you just going about your day, going about your life in this routine, and you just don't even realize all the things that you're doing? Right? I know, Octavius. I mean, but like, I wish y'all my home girls. Like, I really look at this community just the way that I see it, the way I tell you guys, where, I like to have conversations. I like to talk. I'm on my journey too, right? And the sister's trying to find love, and I'm like, I wish I could show you a picture to show you what I mean. But the only thing that I can think about is like his mom had a hard time getting him out. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, his mom had a hard time getting him out, because that is rough up there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and he got the bald head thing going on, right? But anyway, I hope. No, he doesn't know. He doesn't know anything about this. But you know, anyway, I don't have to worry about him. I don't have to worry about him finding out or knowing that I'm talking about him. See, y'all getting me off track. Y'all getting me off track. I'm trying to inspire y'all. I'm trying to inspire y'all this morning. But for real, I mean, that's life. It's real, right? Yeah. And so what I was saying, like, if we just going about life doing, look, wait, if we just going about life doing the same thing over and over again, we're really not living, right? We're really not living. Please, y'all, we're really not living. What we're doing is that we're just existing. And that's something that we don't want to do. We don't want to be in this world where we're just existing, because you're not fulfilling your life's purpose. You're not doing those things, you know, that you need to do in your life. And and you know what? I'll tell y'all a story. When I told y'all before, when I had my DUI, I crashed the car. When I crashed the car, I had to figure out what I was going to do next, right? Because the car was gone, The business was down. My marriage was like over with. We decided that we was gonna split and just move, right? And I had all these legal stuff. I had all these legal troubles, right? And when I was going back and forth to court, I'm listening to my lawyer, and she's like, "Well, this is your second time within 5 years that you are getting a DUI, and the judges look at this like, maybe you have to do some jail time and all this." And I'm like, "Ain't nobody going to jail." She like, "Well, you did hit somebody, and we have to reach out to their lawyer and see what was going on." And at that point in my life, I was just doing what I was doing every day. You guys know I was partying for years and years and years, just straight, right? And I was so into my zone of just trying to, I guess, numb the pain, but I didn't think I was in pain. Like I was like really in this place where I was asleep, because I was justifying myself so much now that I think about it. But when you win it, you don't know that you're doing this, right? But I was justifying myself so much because I was saying it's his fault I'm in this position, you know. And then I was saying like it's the police fault that I'm in this position, because I cut up when they took me to the hospital, right? When I hit the people, the car was smashed in. They took me to the hospital, and I didn't want to go. I was in a cop car, and I told them, I said, if you take me to the hospital, I ain't signing anything. I ain't doing nothing. So they take me to the hospital anyway. The nurse practitioner there, she's like cussing me out because I ain't doing nothing. Look, every time she gave me a paper to sign, I would put an X on it. And then she would tell the police officer, well, she's not signing. And the police officer would say, well, go, you got to go ahead and sign it. So I signed it real quick, but I signed Malcolm X, right? And then I would just sign something like yo mama. Like I would be doing all that. And so the police officer was getting so mad at me. Um, when they took me into the exam room, the nurse comes in and she says, she's trying to do her nice tactic, right? And she's like, well, the first thing that I want to say is I'm so glad that you're okay. And I'm happy that you are here. And because you had the accident, what I want you to understand is that we want to make sure you're okay, but we also want to make sure that the person you hit is okay, because that's the most important thing. Tonight, you almost took someone else's life, right? And she almost got me. She hit me, right? She hit me because what she was trying to do was she was trying to wake me up, right? She was trying to wake me up, and she did. And then she said, well, I just need to be able to see your ID and get your address and everything so that I'm able to go ahead and fill out the rest of the paperwork. And that's when I went dead again, because I'm saying you ain't getting nothing on me. But the police officer took my purse, right? And then he looking at me crazy because of another thing that I was doing, was that I was getting all kind of IDs. You know how you go to the DMV and you get your driver's license, you renew your driver's license, and you renew your ID, right? So I would have a driver's license and an ID. Then within 3 or 4 months, you could just go online, and please don't do this, but I was doing this. You could just go online and say you lost it and go get another one. So by the time a year passed, I had 3 or 4 driver's licenses and all this stuff, because if it happened again, right, they take your license, I would leave the other ones at home and then go ahead and just take what I needed. So if they took that, if I got caught and they took that, then I would have plenty at home, which was legal and okay, right? But see, what I wasn't seeing was that I was the walking dead the whole time. I'm still trying to justify why I'm doing what I'm doing instead of looking at me, right? And what I did was is I went and was enhancing my behavior and nurturing my behavior to make sure that I was okay with that. And it wasn't until for some reason that night I had put another driver's license and another ID in my purse. And so he was like, how the hell you get all these driver's license and all this? By law, you should only have one. But at the same time, me and my then husband, we were moving a lot. So, when you move, you have to change your address on your license, right? So what I would do is I would say I lost my license at that address, right? And then get that one and then go ahead and make sure my mail was still going to that address, even though that house was rented, right? And I would send little things, all the important things, I would get it online, but all of the things that I didn't care about, I would leave it at that place in that mailbox and then have a new one for my address for where I was. So I had a whole little game going on, right? But I was dying and I was sleepwalking and I was just existing because my whole gunshot was to do what I want to do when I wanted to do it. And no one wasn't going to stop me, even the law, right? Even the law. And I said to myself, I was just like, these people think that, they're going to get over on me. Watch, I'm going to show them, right? Watch, I'm going to show them. And I'm telling you, I did not get it. I didn't get it the first time. That's why I had the second accident, right? But that wasn't the first time I went to jail, because I went to jail another time. I went to jail maybe like 4 times in my life, y'all. Like, only, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. And I just said to myself, I was like, damn, it wasn't until I went to that alcohol and drug treatment, which I hated, where I met Miss Jackie, and some of you guys met her before, where I just knew how dead I was inside, right? And I knew that I was just existing, but I wasn't really living, even though I thought I was, right? Because I was this rebel. I felt like, I needed to do what I wanted to do, where the whole time I'm killing myself on the inside. And I couldn't even get out of it. And you know what's the crazy part? My friends and everyone who was around me, for them, they knew that something was up, but they still supported me and loved me for who I was and what I was going through. But they couldn't tell me anything to change, right? Because I didn't see it. I didn't see how bad it was. What I was saying to myself was that I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. So now I go into the treatment, Miss Jackie talking all this stuff. And I'm just like, well, first, let me tell the truth. First, I had this other lady. I forgot who she was. She wasn't doing nothing for me. I mean, if Miss Jackie is listening to this, she'll know who I'm talking about. I mean, that lady, because you got to understand, you're not going in talking about you got an addiction or nothing like that. Because when you go in, you're so much in denial. You're not hearing anything, right? So the lady was like, "Oh, I was on narcotics for I don't know how many years, and then I would take pills and do this and do that." And I'm up there like, I'm getting my ass up out of here. I am not in a room full of people who have a dependency. I don't have no dependency, right? So I tell her again, sleepwalking, right? Look, I need to go somewhere else. This is too extreme for me. I don't like drugs. I hate drugs. I don't know, what it is that you're teaching, but this is not going right for me. right? She was like, but you have an alcohol problem. I'm like, miss, I don't have no alcohol problem. The only thing that I did was get caught. You hear it? Right? And so she was like, okay, well, if that's what you believe and you want, and they make you feel like you got a problem, right? It's just like, damn, because they give you that whole empathy thing, right? Okay, well, if that's how you feel, then there's really nothing that I can tell you, Gloria. This is your life. This is what you want to do. I'm like, don't talk to me like I got a problem. Well, you do have a problem. It might not be drugs and alcohol, but you do got something, right? So I was like, fuck this bitch, excuse me. I ain't doing none of that, right? And then she was like, well, there's a lady named Jackie that you could go to. Because at the same time, y'all, remember, I had 2 cases out there. So I had 2 cases within 5 years. And one of the cases, my first DUI case wasn't even solved yet. So since the first DUI case wasn't solved yet, and I had another DUI case, I was all messed up, right? So I had to go to a whole bunch of treatments at one time because the court case was coming up. And if I didn't complete it because I waited so long, then I would really be going to jail, right? So it was like, well, you have to call Jackie and see if she will allow you to get in her class and all that stuff. So I call her, never met her. And I was like, they saying I got to come to your class so I'm able, who's they? Some lady right here where I live at, and I gave her the address. She said that I got to come to your class because I got to, do something for court. So you have more classes than she do. She said, yeah. She said, okay, you could come up. So when I come up to the place, I see this tall lady, like real intimidating, right? This tall lady. And we sit down. And so she says, well, who are you? Introduce yourself. And I'm like, here we go with this shit again. Look, I feel like I'm in an AA meeting, right? So I say what my name is, and I sit there, and she's like, okay, well, it looks like you think you don't belong here. I said, because I don't. I don't. And it was so funny. She said, well, how long you been sleepwalking? And I'm looking and I'm like, I don't know. And so she was like, well, I didn't bring you here. Right. And this is when you have the aha moments. Because she like, I ain't bring you here. If you ain't do something that was out of the norm, that got you here, and then you telling me that there's nothing wrong, then what? Were you forced to be here? Because obviously you did something. You drank, you drove, you were irresponsible somehow where you ended up here. And now you got to sit and face the music, right? And I was just like, man, no. I was out and the police did this. She was like looking through the paperwork. She like, no. This says you hit somebody. So you hit somebody. You did something. And here I am like, yeah, I feel bad about that. You should. You know why? Because you was being irresponsible. And there's something in you that you need to fix. And that's why you here. Right? You've been sleepwalking this whole time. And the only thing that I'm doing is trying to wake you up so you could go ahead and live a better life. So I don't see you no more. If we can agree on that, then we won't have any problems up in here. Because, Ms. Jack is an ex-police officer too. So ain't nobody trying to, when you see her, you see how tall she is. You don't even try to challenge that. Okay. And so I went home that night and I thought about it, and I was saying to myself, like, damn, okay, what are you doing, Glow? Because I did feel bad about everything, right? But I was like, what are you doing? What is going on? Like, why is your life the way it is? And again, me being in that job, y'all, because remember, I had to go get a job as a result of that. So it was like my life was just taking this turn, like going down, because I took a job, and I hope they not listening. But I be talking, but I hope they not listening. I hope they don't listen to this. But I took a job working at this company that that sells the raw leather, so women could go ahead and make bracelets and all this different things or whatever. Man, y'all, do you know this is how bad it was. They were paying me. What was they paying me? $1,500 a month. I was getting paid $1,500 a month to do that job. And the owner of the company, right? Now, I'm not knocking that I was paying, I was getting paid. $1,500 a month is good for some people. But when you were making over $100,000 a month, and now you down to $1,500 a month, that's hard to sit with. That is very hard to sit with, right? Very hard. And the owner of the company, he sat me down and he said to me, "Oh, I see that you have a lot of skills," because my resume was 2 pages long, right? Because I was a software engineer. Like, I still have my core bachelor's, master's degree, all this stuff or whatever. And he said, "Yeah, I looked at your resume and saw that you had a little bit more skill. So I gave you $4 more than everybody else." But I had no choice, right? I had no choice but to take it, because remember, I had no car. I just separated and moved, right? So I had this apartment, the one I'm in now, that I had to pay for, that at that time was like $1,300 a month. Now, mind you, I get paid $1,500 a month, right? So I always kept my little side hustles going, but I needed something to like cover the rent. So that's the reason why I got the job, and everything else I could hustle for, right? And I stayed there, y'all, a year and a half. No, almost 2 years. I stayed there for almost 2 years. So for 2 years, I wasn't living up to my potential. I was blaming everybody. I was upset with myself, and I could not find a way out. And it got so frustrating, I just started sleepwalking, and I just kept doing it just because. But like I tell y'all, I was a bitch every day. My behavior showed, right? My behavior showed it. But I just didn't know how to get myself out. Cause I was like, damn, man, like what is it? Like, why can't I get out of this? And I was so embarrassed because I would have like my business friends and stuff, and they just like, "Oh, come on, let's go out. Can't pay for shit, can't do nothing." You know what I'm saying? Like, can't do nothing because all my money was going here. And then I remembered what that lady told me. She said, "I'm here to wake you up because obviously you sleepwalking." And when I would go to the treatment, mind you, that ain't even it. Mind you, the treatment You got to pay $40 every time you go for each class. Now, remember, I had to double up during the week. So I had to take 3 classes a week because I had a court date coming up for my first case. And then I would have to go back and do everything all over again for the other case I had in the other county. Right? So I'm spending money on lawyers and classes and DUI stuff over here. And I'm working at this job that I hate, making only $1,500 a month over there and hustling on the side. Just moved, no car, right? Nothing, just trying to make it work. I was so stressed out that I was even doing more of what I was doing. But the more that I started to go to the treatment, only because I had to, that's when I started to wake up. Because I didn't know that I was sleepwalking. I didn't know that, this stuff was real. I knew something was wrong, right? Because my life reflected it. And guess what? When you look at your life and you see who's to blame, you can't point no fingers to anyone but yourself. Because I started the whole tornado, right? I decided to do what I wanted to do. And these are the effects of that. I wasn't using my potential and my gifts for good. I was using them in a different way. I was still being myself, right? And making friends and doing all that stuff. But I was hanging out with the wrong people. And I couldn't get myself out of it. And even when I look at it, the relationships that I have, the people that I was attracting, as far as Ben is concerned, I mean, I had a little boo and everything, and that was good. But it's like everybody could see it except me. You ever had that feeling before? You know what I'm saying? Like when people know that you're vulnerable and something is wrong or whatever, or they know that you're very angry or there's this cloud over you, but you just think that life is normal and this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Until somebody wakes you up, until the bell goes off and somebody wakes you up and you just like, whoa, like I didn't even know that I had all this stuff going on. Right? And she was one. And my friend Larry, who passed, he had multiple sclerosis. And we went to college together. And I would call him every day. I think I told y'all this too. And I would complain about this job. And, the little car that I have now, I had just got because I had to go get that car for like $7,000, right? And I was like, Larry, I don't know what's wrong, man. These people, they get on my nerves. I'm trying to do this and try to do that. And one thing he told me, he said, Chloe, you're the smartest person I know. And you always hustled. If you don't want to be at the job, just leave. And I was like, I can't leave, Larry. I can't leave because if I leave, then how am I pay for this apartment? And, Mr. Ward used to do everything and all this stuff or whatever. And now I got to do the stuff on my own. And he like, Chloe, you can do this. If you don't want to be there, just leave. And I was just like, I don't know. Let me go ahead and put myself out there and see if I can get some, IT contracts, because that's the best thing. And I would tell any of you guys that is the best thing about having a skill and stepping out, because when you fail at one thing, you can always fall back on something else. That's why it is so important for you to give value and to have skills, right? Because I wasn't doing IT at this place. I was just, I don't know what the hell I was doing. I can't even tell you. And so I just put it out there, and I was just like, contacting uh, some old clients. Was like, does anybody need any IT help? Just let me know. I'm free. Blah blah blah. And then I got 2 emails back. One was from a company I was contracting with before. The CEO got fired. So when a CEO get fired, all the people that came in with him gets fired, right? And they was like, oh, you came highly recommended by this other guy that I knew, and we want you to come in. So I went in and I talked to them. They didn't like my price. They thought my price was too high for them, right? So I said, okay, that's fine. And so then I get a call from another friend. I used to work at uh, one of my clients had a health center, and he used to work there, but he got laid off, and he found a new job though. And he was like, Gloria, I was just talking about you to the CEO of the company because I was telling them how good you are, and I want you to come in and I want you to meet him. Y'all, I went home and I started bawling. I went home and I started crying so much. You know why? Because once I woke up, and once you wake up, you start to remember who you are. And you know what the tears are about? The tears are about, why the hell didn't I freaking do this in the beginning, right? Like, what took so long? And I didn't have the contract yet, but I knew I had the other skills, right? I knew I had the other skills. The only thing I needed was to get in front of somebody. And other than that, I was going to take it from there, right? And so I went the first time, talked to the CEO, and he was like, okay, you know how they kind of brush you off. They don't know you, blah, blah, blah. And it took a month or two, yeah, maybe 3 months. And the CEO calls me and he says, why you not here? And I'm like, well, you ain't signed my contract. He like, I sent it to you like a week ago. And so I'm looking in my emails, and it was in my junk email. Y'all, I don't know how it went to my junk email, but it went to my junk email with the contract signed, with him saying, can't wait to have you on board. We need all this help, all this stuff. Man, you talking about somebody who was mad because I had to do one more week at that place I was at. I went up there to that place. I said, this is my last day. As a matter of fact, I ain't working. And I left. And I left. And from there, I woke up and I was like, yo, this is who I am. This is me. This is the person that's been hiding down inside. You know you got the skills. You know you can do it. You know you can step out there. You know you can be your best self. You know you can create opportunities. But you got to stop sleepwalking. And you got to be able to step out there and do it. And because of that, I'm Loving Me was birth, right? Because I said to myself, how many other women go through this? Because when you're in it, you don't see it. You just don't. But that little bit that Miss Jackie gave me helped me to see my life, right? And most of us don't get that. We're not around people who will tell us the truth and look at our lives and peek in and say, you know what, you could fix that right there. You know, you can love on yourself a little bit more and fix that. And how about you go ahead and fix that attitude? And then once you finish that, go on in and work on your discipline and consistency. If you can get those things together, you'll be amazing, right? But we don't have that because when we in it, we hanging out with people just like us, right? Who blame other people just like us. There is no rationale. Those people are not there, right? So that's why I said to myself, damn it, Gloria, when you're doing this thing for the I'm Loving Me project, what else is important to you and to them? And the first thing I thought of is having somebody like Miss Jackie, having a coach or somebody that I can listen to and who can listen to me, who could give me some good advice to help me along my journey, because I can't do it alone. And it is very hard to process my feelings because there's so many things going on at one time where I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know where to start. I need somebody to help me manage me, right? I need somebody to help me get me together. And then once that started to happen, then I'm finding out everything. Oh shit, I got mommy issues. I'm angry over here. You know what I'm saying? You start to see all the weeds you gotta pull out, right? And I'm just like, wow. That's why it's important to be in community. That's why it's important. And the purpose of having a coach or somebody or something that you're listening to, you know, that's the purpose of reading and journaling and expressing your feelings. Because what you're doing is you're learning how to process all of these thoughts so that you can move yourself to the next level. You know, so that you can move yourself to the next level. Because if you don't, you get stuck, you start sleepwalking, you know, you start to get discouraged, you don't get disciplined, you don't do any of those things because there's nobody that is there to kind of help you process all that. There's nobody you can talk to. There's nobody that you can, when you having a bad day, and this is the reason why I created the courses thing, so that when you're having a bad day, you can come on and you can meet, you have a plethora of coaches that you can network with and talk to. So if you're having a bad day because you're thinking about your trauma, we just brought Keisha on, our healing coach, and she deal with trauma, right? You could go ahead and join Keisha's Zoom and you can express exactly how you feel at that moment, at that time, and you have access to her where she could pull you out and she can help you get through whatever that is. And once you get back to yourself and you know you need to work on your business and you're trying to learn Excel, and you could go over here to Janice, go to her Excel class. You might have missed it because you was yelling over here with Keisha, right? You might have missed it, but you could go back and you could replay it and you could just go back to work on how you could get your Excel spreadsheets top notch, right? To me, that's called life. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's what it is. That's what it's about. However I'm feeling at the moment where I am in my journey can somebody help me walk through this? And when I no longer need Keisha, I can go somewhere and go on to the next coach and say, Keisha, you helped me out so much. It inspired me to get past my past. Now I can go over here to Andrenia and start working on my present life right now. Because in my present life, I found the man of my dreams and I want to make this work. How do I have a good, healthy relationship where I'm having good, healthy boundaries? Because I want to be able to take back those things into my relationship so that we can mold and make something of our own. Because I didn't want to bring my junk into the relationship. And then now the man you got is like, I got the best girl in the world. I don't know what she be doing on that computer. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. Because it's needed. I know I need it. Let me tell you, as soon as we find a relationship coach, see, that's where I need my help. Like, okay, now what's going on with me? Because I find all kind of things wrong. Am I fearful of being in a relationship? Probably, because I was married. Because I have that whole thing of I ain't never get married again. I do got that syndrome. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never get married again. So probably, but maybe. But again, there's nobody around me to say anything like that, right? Or to expose me to anything. So right now, the only thing that I'm doing is finding everything wrong with somebody that I meet. But am I doing that unconsciously because I'm fearful of finding someone? Maybe, right? Or maybe I just don't like them, right? But who knows? But who knows? But I know what I want. I know I would like to have a relationship with someone, right? But what do we have to dig in and unpack in my life in order to make that happen where I'm approaching it in a healthy way? Because right now I'm not. And I'm aware of myself that I know that I'm not. So I'm sitting my ass down right now until I can get the help I need, right? Because it's damaging getting into something where you're not fully healed, right? So right, Marie, I'm telling you. So it's like when you become self-aware and you know you're not ready and you know you need the help, that's when you know you're on the right track. So we gotta stop sleepwalking. Take advantage of the things that are around us. Life is about today. Today is so important. Today is so important because you are here. You have the activity of all of your limbs. You're listening, and you can start your journey to wherever you are. I promise you. Marie, that book, you can write it. Octavius, that business, you already got it going on. Deborah, you already got it going on. Right? Right? All of you ladies already got it going on. But let's not get caught sleeping. Okay? So that's all I got for today. I'm gonna go get me a smoothie. Marie, I be looking at them smoothies that you be getting. Them things look so good. The Twix, I can't get that one out my head. The Twix and something else that you had. I'm like, but they come with two. Is it the juice and then the thing? I never understand why is it two, or you buying two for different people. I don't know, but it looks so good when I see that. That it encouraged me to go get a smoothie today. But yeah, ladies, that's why I said it's going to be amazing what we're building here, and it's going to be beneficial for all of us. Um, and we're going to take this journey together, right? We're going to take this journey together, and we're going to build this community where we're going to live our highest and truest self. We're going to do what God put us here to do, right? We're going to do what God put us here to do by any means necessary. So I gotta go. I love you. I hope you have a great day. I'll have the information. Our big meeting is at 1 o'clock. Outside of that, I can come on and do an announcement as to how we're going to do the courses thing, and then come back to you guys to let you know who the courses are and what we're doing and how we're going to move everything forward. And we're just going to start with what we got, and we're going to build from there, and we're going to, have some fun and make it work. But outside of that, love you. I see ya. I think we don't have nobody for tonight, but I definitely see you guys in the morning.